Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Salon Marketing. Whoa, messed up my words there. Salon Marketing Live. I'm so excited to be here today. We've got Jessica Kidner joining us all the way from Adelaide area, Australia. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for being here today. I can't wait to see you and hear you share your story with everyone who's watching, and just to share the amazing knowledge that you have about building up your beauty business, selling it, and specifically the topic of today is email marketing, how crucial it was for you for building up your business and why it's overlooked and why it shouldn't be overlooked. So before we get into the whole email marketing thing, go ahead and introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey, Jessica.
Yeah, no, thank you, Stephanie, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too.
Like Stephanie said, I am in Australia, in Adelaide, so that's in South Australia, and I am a mother of three. I'm now at home full-time, looking after them, and also blogging and talking to people on social media about beauty businesses. So my journey starts way back when I was, a teenager. I was diagnosed with dyslexia. And I had a real fear of what I was going to do with my life. And I knew I'm the eldest of 7 children.
Wow.
So I've always been a leader. I always liked telling, people what they should do and all that sort of stuff. And once I realized that I had to try and get a job and I needed to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, I had a real passion for making money in a job, but also having the flexibility of wanting to be at home when I actually had my children.
Yeah.
And I found acrylic nails. They had just started to become mainstream, and I fell in love. I tried hairdressing, and then I saw the nail table and I was like, that is where I wanted to be. And I started studying at nighttime. I got a job full time straight away as soon as I qualified, and I just built up my skill. I ended up being, quite gifted in that area. Mm-hmm. And I just grew from there, from working for people, experiencing some pretty horrible things that can happen in the industry.
Right.
And I, just things like pay and work conditions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I started to rent space, and I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss. So I had, like I said, I rented some space in a few different hair salons. Mm-hmm. And then an opportunity came up to work in the salon that I went on to buy. So I worked there. I bought that salon.
Wow.
Dream was to build it. I wanted a business. I didn't want to work for someone else, and I wanted the flexibility to have children and stay home with them but still have an income.
Yeah.
And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, said, actually, the first thing he said to me when we bought this business is you need to collect emails. And this is back in 2008.
So he was almost like ahead of the curve in terms of he knew how important it was even back then. I mean, email has always been important.
Yeah, but I remember saying, why do I need email? And he's like, just do it. That is how we're going to talk to our customers. Because I had their phone number and I had their home address, mm-hmm. but we weren't collecting emails. And like I said, this was before Facebook went mainstream and all sorts of stuff. So we ended up doing that. We built the business, we built our team, and we had lots of ups and downs, as everyone does in the entrepreneur sort of world.
For sure.
And we had a dream that we would sell our business for, we wanted the 10X, and we just literally built that, and then we sold it last year for 6 figures. And now I'm just right, now it's my time to relax and help other people. So
wow. So the way that you tell it, I mean, it sounds so streamlined and point A, point B, point C, but like you said, there were a lot of ups and downs. So I would love to know, before you bought the place, what were the things that you had to do to get to the point where you were actually ready to not just be your own self-boss, but be hey, I want to actually have a salon where I'm employing other people? Was there kind of a mindset shift that you had to have, or did you have to line up certain practical things to be ready to own your own salon?
Yeah, look, I worked for a woman who was quite experienced, but I watched her through a couple of different salons that she had, and she was very up and down and very stressed, and I could see that from the outside. And I knew in myself that I needed to get control of my own mindset before I became a boss. Mm-hmm. And we all have the big dreams that that's not going to happen and I'm not going to do that and, I'm going to be so good. But I knew that I had to be realistic, that there is going to be issues, and I had to have a backup for that. And the way that I did that was ask for help. And back when I first started, there was no real community that I could dive into to ask for help. So I started to use my local council, my husband, we have like coaches like in business, not in the beauty industry, but just general. And I got help, and I sort of fumbled my way through it. And, thankfully I got the help from the right people. So, HR managers, and my husband is very savvy with the internet and building websites and stuff like that. So it was definitely all mindset that I had a goal and I had to figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
And it's all about reverse engineering it, really.
Oh my gosh. So what do you think were the big factors that led to you being able to sell your salon? How many years did you have it open before you sold it?
We ran it so I worked in it for a little bit beforehand, but I think we were verging on that 13-year mark.
Okay, so 13 years that you had it and you sold it.
Yes.
What do you think were the factors that led to your success in being able to build it up and sell it? First of all, what do you think made it so attractive to the person who bought it?
Yeah. What made it so attractive was that it looked really pretty. So we just spent a lot of money on renovating it, but also the profit.
Right.
That's the killer. It's the profit. And then we had to prove how we made that profit.
Okay.
Because they need a system behind, because the person that bought it is not in the beauty industry at all. They are in business and volunteer sort of community work. So that is what
got it.
In the end, 6 figures.
So they wanted to make sure that, okay, you've built up a business and a system and a process that you're making money on it. You've got a high profit margin. So what were the things you think that during those 13 years that you did so well that you were able to do that?
I mentioned before that we reverse engineered our goal. So I want to say though, at the start when I first bought that business, I knew that there was going to be an end. Mm-hmm. I didn't know when that end would be. But I had to think like a boss. I had to think like a CEO of, right, I need to build this business to be able to make money for me. I wasn't married. I didn't have any children, but I knew that's what was happening in the future. So I had to build the business inside. Like I was working 40, 50 hours a week, doing every single client, and I had to wiggle my way out of it to be able to create a business. Because at the time I had a job and I needed to have a business. So a lot of people but I'm never going to sell my business. And it's like, okay, you might not, but you might.
Yeah.
And you need to set it up so that when you do go on holiday, you're not coming back and working another 60 hours to try and fit everyone in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really looked at it as a company, and I looked towards the big companies, to tell you the truth. I looked at McDonald's, I looked at, Target and all those sort of big businesses and how they set it up, and I just copied it.
Oh, that's amazing. So what were some of the things that you took as inspiration from those businesses?
Yeah. So, staff management, having a system when they came in. We had like you talk about client journeys, but we actually had a staff journey, and that was something that was always growing, and we were always tweaking every time we got a new staff member. But I had to really let go of me being the sole worker and realize that I needed to invest in my staff. Yeah. And this led back to having bosses that didn't invest properly in me and my need for education. So when someone came in, we had a system that we would take them through. We gave them like a grace period. We had systems in place when it came to getting a flow of traffic into the business, because, you're always wanting new clients, but then we had systems set up for looking after the current clients that we had as well.
So it was about standardizing things, essentially, like figuring out what works and then creating a process that you continually did.
Yeah. And also not being stuck in this works and this is the only thing I'm doing, but to sort of grow just every step of the way. We were always looking at tweaking things and figuring and taking on board feedback as well from clients and from staff.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You're such a smart lady. I mean, I could pick your brain all day on how you did that, built up your business, etc. But I would love to get into the real meat of what we're talking about today, which is email marketing. So before we jump into that, guys, I would love anyone watching to jump into the comments and say hi. Say hi to Jessica. Say hi to me. I love to know who's watching. We have Jamoni here and Guy's here. Guy says he has no sound. I'm pretty sure we do have sound, but just everyone let us know if you're unable to hear us. Please just type into the comments if you can hear us or not, and type into the comments and say hi. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us about your business. We would love to know. Okay, so Jessica, first question about email marketing. How important do you think that your email list was and the emails that you sent out were? Being honest, how important do you think that it was to your business success?
Do you know, I like to be, I got goosebumps, 100%. Like, it just was a game changer in the way I was able to market my business.
Right.
Like, it just, we did do a little bit of Facebook ads, we did do Google ads, we did do all that sort of stuff. But it was the game changer to be able to build a consistent income.
Wow. So can you tell us, like, in general, first of all, why you focused so much on email marketing instead of, or maybe in addition to, but it sounds like email marketing was like your number one. So why email marketing as opposed to like Instagram or Facebook or all of those other things? Why was email marketing so crucial?
Email marketing, I believe that I already knew the clients. So it was my job to connect with them. Mm-hmm. And I likened it to it being like a handshake and then inviting them into my home. So we played with different days that we would send email. We were doing it monthly, then we changed it to fortnightly and weekly to see what would work. And we just got instant replies. Like, we could see how many people were opening it. We could see what dollars were coming through the business. You know, if we had so many appointment, like a dollar value at the start of the week, we knew by the end of the week that we were going to have an extra $1,000, $1,500 in bookings,
right,
just from connecting and letting clients know that we're here for them. So
wow,
that's what
I love that. Yeah. So just before I ask the next question, I just wanted to give a shout out to who's watching. We have Kim watching from Beach Glow Custom Tanning. Chantel's here from Wollongong. Chantel, Elliott, Makeup and Beauty. And then Chris is here from Michigan Uptown Sun Co. Tanning Salon and Custom Spray Tans. Thanks, guys, for the shout out. And again, if you guys have any questions at all while we're going through this chat with Jessica, ask, because she would love to answer your questions. I know there's a lot of misunderstandings and confusion when it comes to email marketing, so don't be afraid. Shout us out in the comments and let us know your questions. Okay, so essentially, Jessica, you were saying that email marketing was so crucial to you because it was like a handshake and welcoming people into your salon. What do you think that you were able to do with email marketing that wasn't possible with social media?
I was able to talk directly to customers that already knew our business. So they had either interacted with us already and shown interest. They had already been into our salon and were current clients.
Right.
And I was able to make them personalized offers.
Right.
Straight to the offers. Yeah.
Okay. So personalized offers. Can you tell us a little bit about, like, from the time that someone, for example, books an appointment to, leading up to their appointment to afterwards, etc. Can you give us kind of like an overview of the different types of emails that you were sending to them?
Yeah. So if someone signed up in Salon, they would get added to our list, and they would get a welcome email, and they would also get a email that asked them how their appointment was about 48 hours after that appointment, right, that initial appointment. And that email was directly from me. So, hey, Stephanie, thanks for coming in. I'm Jessica. It would tell them a little bit about me and ask them, how did you like your service? I actually got a lot of replies straight to my inbox, and it was personalized as well. So the clients would always be like, hey, Jess, thank you so much for asking. And then they'd give me feedback, and it was just fantastic. If they came in through my website, they would get an opt-in. So we had a couple of different opt-ins, and that email would go out straight away, and then we would follow up reminding them to use it and inviting them to book. So we would give them a link to book their appointment and let them know that their code would be running out, at the end of the week or whatever it is.
So you had, for example, if someone would go on your website, they're checking you out, but they haven't booked an appointment yet, they would get a pop-up on your website that says like a special offer for first-time clients?
Yep. Yes. We actually did it for anyone who wanted to sign up. I didn't do the first-time client only because I didn't want to exclude the clients that we already had.
Right.
But if they hadn't tried that service, spray tanning, micros, peels, it was always inviting whoever was on that website to come in and try a different service.
Okay, awesome. And then just to kind of backtrack for a second, you said that when people signed up in Salon, meaning they had just come in for their appointment or they came in as a walk-in, etc., and you added them to your list, after their appointment, you sent them a follow-up email asking for feedback, which is amazing, and not enough salons do that. Did you also ask them to leave you a review somewhere?
Google review, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was twofold, number one, reply back with your feedback. Number two, leave us a review on Google.
Yeah, we weren't doing the Google one first. We were just doing the asked how for their feedback, but then we cottoned on to the whole Google review thing.
Yeah.
And we did.
Awesome. Okay, so and then can you tell us some more about some of the other types of emails that you were sending out? Yeah,
so I want to ban the word newsletter. I didn't say anything about a newsletter. It was just a correspondence. So we would send a fortnightly email, just literally saying, hey, this is what's new in the salon. We have a new color that's come in. This is our new skin product, always something new.
Yeah.
And we would also talk about staff. So we would have a little section that, someone might be going on holiday, someone's having a baby, whatever. But we would also send deals or packages that we would release only a certain time of the year.
Right.
And it really came that clients were expecting it and they were excited and they would ask, when is this X package coming out? And we were we were so excited that clients were in that habit that they were expecting it to come through, because that's the reason why I started diving into email marketing, was to make big offers.
Yeah. So, what kind of offers were, what kind of big offers were you sending them? And then what kind of results did you get from them?
Yeah. So we would send, a deal or an offer every fortnight to every month, depending on what was happening that month. Mm-hmm. But my biggest one, where I actually did a really big lead up to, so I had a competition that we started to get emails, and we really started to target in on skin clients.
Yeah.
And then I released a skin package that was over $1,500.
Wow.
And it included ongoing discounts on products once they started coming in, just a little bit. And within 30 minutes of sending my very first email to my targeted audience, I don't know why I just did that, because I was
yeah.
I had a PayPal or a Stripe notification come up saying someone has just sent you $15.97 skin. And I was like,
you weren't expecting that. You weren't expecting it that fast.
Not quickly, no. But I'd already warmed that group of people up to expect something that was coming. And I was at home making coffee, and I pressed the coffee machine, my phone beeps, and I looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness, it worked.
That's amazing. So what did you do to warm them up to such a big package?
Yeah, so we started off with a micro giveaway, and we did that through Facebook ads. We did that through advertising on the website, advertising on Google. I wanted to capture as many people that were interested in the skincare side.
Yeah.
I then entered them into a competition. I sent them an email explaining what, micros are all about, the benefits. We announced the winner I think it was on Facebook, we announced the winner, and I sent them another email saying, this is who won, but don't, despair that if you are ready, then in 2 days' time or whatever, there's going to be a big package. Mm-hmm. And I gave them, because they were the ones that showed interest first, I gave them a heads up on a limited package that we were releasing in the Salon.
Yeah.
So we only had 10 spots available, or 5, I can't exactly remember how many. And that's, that scarcity was able to drive that first client to jump straight on and purchase her skincare package.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
out. And then I offered it to the actual clients of the salon. They were on my main list. And then the girls in the salon started talking about it as well, and we got sales that way as well.
Oh my gosh, so cool. So I want to go back to that, like about the offers and that kind of thing. But
Yep.
First, are there any other types of emails that we missed? So we did the welcome email, the feedback email, the non-newsletter email, and the big offers email. Was there any other types of emails that you were sending out?
We did send the like long time no see emails. Mm-hmm. And that has been something that, we used to do in letters and letter drops and things like that. But that was really good because it actually connected with people, and I got responses back with, hey Jess, I've just moved into state. I'm so sorry, but if I ever come back to Adelaide, or I'll come back in the future. So it really led me to have a connection to the customer. And I'm like, would write back to them saying, that's so exciting. Follow me on Instagram, that sort of thing. So it was able to connect and pick up if there were any issues, and also understand in my own mind why sometimes people leave. And it's not just because they're unhappy, it's just that life changes. So we did send, where are you? We'd send birthday vouchers as well. Yes, I think that was pretty much my main focus, the monthly email or the fortnightly.
The non-newsletter. Okay, so guys, if you're there watching, let me know in the comments, whether you're watching live or as a replay, what is your relationship with email marketing for your business? Because I'd love to get feelers about what you guys feel about email. Is it like a big yes, like, oh my gosh, I love email marketing? Is it like, I wish that I was good at email marketing, but I kind of suck at it? Or is it kind of like, I don't really know. I'm trying to figure it out. I would love to know, because you're all here watching. You know how important email marketing is, but some people just feel like it's a lot of work and they don't know what people want to read and they're confused about it. So just let us know in the comments kind of what your thoughts are. Like, yes, not too great. Let us know. And I wanted to, before I ask you any more questions, I wanted to ask a question that Honora had. Honora said, Liz is here. Hi, Liz. Honora says, what is the best heading to get them to open the email, not just to scroll past it? Really good question.
Yeah, and look, this is something that you have to test with your own audience, but always something that intrigues them. Always something that they're like, really? What is that about? Like, what is that deal, or what are they up to, or what is the new trend for summer or whatever? It really is something that you have to test, and always stick to being inquisitive, because as humans, we are, we have that FOMO, and we want to know what's going on. We want to know what we're missing out on. So you really have to figure out what your demographic is and what interests them, and then play with it. You can split test emails, that sort of thing, like your titles. So questions and intrigue.
Yeah, for me, email marketing is a huge part of my business. I send out emails every single week, and it all starts with the title of the email, the subject line. If it's not good, no matter how great your email is, people aren't going to open it. They're not going to read it. They're not going to click into it. So it all starts with the subject line, and you're completely right. Like, testing it is such a great idea. I test out 2 different email subject lines, and then after, I think, 4 hours, my email service provider sends out the email that did the best. And I completely agree. It's about intriguing and not really saying completely what your email is about in the subject line, but hinting at it. So, and I find that shorter tends to be better as well. So not being too descriptive, making them question like, oh, if I got this in my email inbox, would it make me wonder, like, what is this email about? So it's like putting yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, you can add emojis if that's your sort of clientele as well. So it's really just about who you're serving.
Yeah, yes. So Brandy's here. She says, I'm here live. I have a 30% open rate. That's amazing, Brandy. Amazing. That's a really, really good open rate. Chantel says, I don't do it yet, but I want to. I don't know where to start. So Chantel is telling us about her experience with email marketing. Hopefully, Chantel, you're going to get some amazing ideas here.
Yeah.
And then Liz says, I haven't personally done email marketing. I own Loose Ends Hair Studio in a small town, Massachusetts. So Liz, same to you. Thank you for watching, by the way, but same to you. I think that you're going to get some good ideas here. Okay, so guys, yeah, just let us know in the comments. What are your kind of thoughts and ideas about email marketing? And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask.
I'll just bring that up because I have a private mentor client who is sending her very first email this month, and I've told her she needs to start and she needs to just share one thing. Just share one thing and get them into the habit. So if Chantel wants to start sketching out something she's done this month, maybe, I don't know if it was a hair salon you said?
Yeah, so Chantel, or actually, let's see. I don't know if it's Chantel that has a hair salon. She's Chantel Elliott Makeup and Beauty,
So Halloween's coming up, so, you know, maybe just pick one thing that you might have done this month and have that as the focus and just introduce yourself to your client base and let them know that you're there and you're excited about connecting with them and you know, making relationships with your customers, building relationships.
For sure. Yeah. And I know that for me, like, I think that a lot of people struggle with email marketing because they think that it has to be like a sales email and they're not good at doing sales. I'm terrible at doing sales. I'm terrified of being salesy. And actually, I think that that's why my emails have done so well is because I try not to make them salesy. They're just like super fun and friendly and that kind of thing. So I would love to know, Jessica, your fortnightly non-newsletters. Yeah. How were they received? Like, what kind of feedback did you get? And what did you do to actually make people want to read them instead of kind of ignoring them?
Yeah, no, we, look, you are going to get some people that just aren't into it, and that's totally fine. And that's the other thing that people get really nervous about is unsubscribers. And that is something that in my mindset and in myself, I had to realize that it's not for everybody. But I had a system where if I had questions from customers, I would write them down. You know, if someone asked me, what's the benefits of LED? I would put that question in my little email sort of log that I had and I would educate them and I would just share, like I said, one thing for letting them know, hey, I had this question this week and this is what we got. And if you're interested, here's the LED package. Yeah. Like you always to educate them, but then give them somewhere to go as well. So you're not actually selling to them, you're actually giving them what they want.
I love that.
If they want to know, you know, about something and they've read it, then there's an action for them to take.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then you said, so it's part education, part, okay, well, if you're interested in this, now that you know about it, here's how to book for it, or here's the packages we have. But in addition to that, you said that you were also making it like really personal too.
Yeah, so we had some customers that were only into skincare. They didn't get any nails done or waxing or anything like that. So we could segment them off as just skincare clients. Yeah. So we could them just with information that they wanted to know. And we also had clients that were into spray tanning and, you know, like party event stuff. So it was just about one, calling them out in the email. So using their first name as like a tag.
Yeah.
And just testing it and seeing, you know, what people were interested in. People would come in and be like, oh, you mentioned this in your email and, you know, I want to know more about it and stuff like that. So we were starting to get a feel for what people liked and what people didn't like.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if we did get anything that we didn't like. I don't think we did. Like, not to me anyway. It was more, I want to know more about that sort of thing. And when is that deal coming out? And, oh, that was such a good set of nails. I want that, you know, that design next time I come in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So people to pick what they want from it. And that is what our job is to put it out there and just let people pick what they want to take in and not get too hung up on not wanting to be seen, if that makes sense.
Oh,
because,
for sure.
Yeah, if you're not marketing and talking to your clients, someone else is. So it's just about getting in there and literally they are human beings and it's just about talking to them and letting them know. And they want what you've got. So, you know, be proud of what you've got and show it off.
Yeah, I love that. And don't be afraid to show yourself as a person in your emails too, along with, you know, on your social media, on your website, etc. But like for me, a huge theme of, you know, me talking with beauty business owners and my own journey as a business owner is just like, we don't want to see the business side of a business. We want to see the human side of a business. And that's why in your social media, in your emails, everywhere, you really do have to show yourself. So, you know, talk in a friendly, personable way. you were saying about, showing pictures of the staff, sharing what's new in, what's going on in your personal lives too. And people love reading that kind of thing.
Yeah, they love baby images. And, every time I got pregnant, I always announced it in, in the newsletter and stuff, or non-newsletter. I just want to say as well, I haven't been active doing clients in my business for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So email marketing was a way that I was still connected to the customer.
Oh, awesome. Mm-hmm.
I would always finish it off with Jessica. So they knew that I was the owner. They knew that they were talking to me, and they literally felt like they knew me, even if they didn't speak to me in Salon, because I wasn't there. I was only there 1 or 2 days a week, if that. So they always knew who I was, and they replied to me as a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you, blah, blah, blah. So, or, they have to change an appointment. It was always directly to me, which made me feel like I did have that connection, even though I wasn't in the physical business.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. So I also wanted to say hi to Brandy. She said, my last email marketing email netted a $40 purchase of sheet masks. I'm proud of that email. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
Hey.
People are buying things.
That's right. And you didn't have to do anything. You literally just sent an email and it happened automatically.
Yeah, I love that.
Setting up those systems that you don't have to be working all the time to make every single dollar. You can start to systemize and automate things. I even had my email automated for a little while with VAs. I might have had 3 months of maternity leave, and I would hire a VA to work with me so I didn't have to physically do it or set it up.
Yeah, so they were writing the email, you told them what the theme was, and then they would write the email for you and send it out?
Yeah, like I said, I'm dyslexic as well, so I would sketch out the email, and then I would just email it to her, or share the doc, and she would put it all together, make it look pretty, put a couple of photos in, and then she would schedule it.
Oh, I love that. That makes it so much easier. I schedule my emails too. I do them on Mondays. I schedule them out for Tuesdays, Wednesdays. So I just get it out of the way, schedule it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chantel wanted to ask a question. She says, what email app do you use? Was it MailChimp or do you market from your work email?
So we didn't, it's through MailChimp, and then it would come up as my Salon name because we had a Salon email with, at such and such Salon. But we used in that company, we used MailChimp. Yeah.
Okay.
And I currently use ActiveCampaign now.
Okay. I personally use ConvertKit, but that's also to say is that I'm a blogger. I have a different kind of need. I think that MailChimp is perfect for people who just want something simple.
Yeah. And we set up all the automations through MailChimp. We set up our tags through MailChimp. It was really easy, and set up the templates and stuff like that. It was, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so Brandy says, I was just asking how they were doing, and I asked that they answer back to the email. So Brandy's talking about how she sold all those sheet masks, I think. So she did a really personal, just kind of asking how they were doing and getting them to respond back, which is genius. I mean, that's the thing about email. People think it's so businessy, but it's actually super personal. People want to respond back. It's like their friends are sending them emails.
Yeah. And we want to receive them too. We want you to email and talk to you.
Yeah. Diane says, hi ladies. Hi Diane. I couldn't come on till now. Is it being recorded? Yes. You can rewatch it later, Diane. Okay. Awesome. Now, Jessica, you told us at the beginning that email marketing was absolutely crucial for you growing your business and being able to eventually sell your business for 10x what you paid for it, which is awesome. Do you have some numbers to share with us about what kind of extra revenue you estimate that email marketing was able to make your business?
Yeah, I don't have the exact figures because I don't have the figures now in front of me, but I definitely know that I was able to make at least $1,000 to $2,000 per email, because when I sent that out, we could tell that the bookings would increase and we would always have a dollar value. But when I sent out my big campaigns, I know for a fact that we made $5,000 in the 2 days that I had the massive skincare package.
Wow, that's awesome.
Available.
So you
And
were
that
sending, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that was over 2 days, and I sent 3 emails about that, because there's a time when you can send a little bit more email than you would normally, and that one was a big launch. So I actually sent 3 emails over 2 days, and then that was able to drive in that money.
Wow. So you were sending out essentially an email at least once every 2 weeks, and you were doing $1,000 to $2,000 extra revenue per email. So that's like $4,000 or even $5,000 a month extra revenue just from email. And it's not like you're spending money on that. You're just spending the time to be able to put them together.
Yeah. And that wasn't just because I had an offer in that email. It was that I was connecting and they were remembering, they're like, oh, cool, go over to the place and just book their waxing or whatever. But it was just showing up and constantly being at front of mind that we were there for them. So
yeah, that's awesome. Do you know like more or less how many people you were sending these emails out to?
Yeah, we had a list of about 2,500 people.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a good list.
Yeah, and that's the first thing that everyone should be doing is collecting their client details. It's the easiest thing, but it's the first thing that people forget because they just want to get straight into the service.
Yeah.
And again, with my private clients, I'm like, you need to be collecting those details. Get a piece of paper and just write it down. So we would collect majority of our clients that were already in Salon. We would make sure that we would have their emails.
Yeah. Amazing. So you just made that part of the process and just made sure that every single person you were collecting their email address. Okay. So next question for you. Honora had a question, but I just asked it before seeing it. She said how many emails clients were being sent. It was about 2,500 she had on her list.
Yeah.
Okay. So you work with beauty businesses as a coach, as a marketing coach, business growth coach, and you work with them on their email marketing, I'm sure, as that's like a huge part of how you grew your business. What are the common mistakes that you see them making in their email marketing?
Yeah. Well, the majority of them aren't doing it. So they're just not doing it. They don't understand.
That's big mistake number one right there.
So then once I introduce it to them and show them that they can do it, they're not collecting every single email. So again, I'm really about making sure that you have the system in place, whether it's your staff or yourself, even if you're a home salon, you collect people's details.
Yeah.
Offer them something. In Salon, we had a form that they would fill out, and we actually had, you will receive a birthday voucher and things like that. People always love getting those sort of things. Yeah. I love getting them. So we always had an offer to say, hey, if you get this, you're going to be getting something in return. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is just sending the first email and then nothing afterwards, crickets for months and months.
Yeah.
So I suggest starting at least once a month, a minimum. Don't go every week or every fortnight to start off with if you're too overwhelmed with it. And really having a strategy of thinking, what am I doing? I'm not wanting to sell to these people. I'm actually wanting to connect with them like a real person. And I'm wanting to help them. That's the first thing. You need to change that mindset of you're going to be annoying them and you're scared about unsubscribers. That's the other thing that people get really upset about, or they're concerned about before they even start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally understand that. And I think that email marketing is just one of those things. It's going to feel awkward at the beginning. It's going to feel weird, but you get more comfortable with it as you do it more often, just like everything.
Yeah, totally. And I love email day. I love that I get to send something out and I'm like, hey, how you going? This is what we've been up to. And, I'm chatting with Stephanie this week, all that sort of stuff. It's just really pushing through my excitement for life and for business, through to people. And I love doing that when I had the Salon as well, just showing them what we had, what was going on, who was in Salon that week, anything, anything that was going on in the business, we would let people know.
Yeah, definitely. And again, about the unsubscribers thing, when I first started doing email marketing, I would avoid looking at my email software the day after because I was I don't want to see all the people that are unsubscribing. But then as you do it, you really realize that is just a normal, natural part of it. And it doesn't mean that they hate you. It does not mean that they hate you. In fact, there are probably a lot of people unsubscribe and then they'll resubscribe again.
I was just to say
Yeah,
that,
a lot of people have like
Yeah.
multiple email addresses, so they'll have like 2 different emails, so you're sending them emails to 2 different addresses and they unsubscribe at one. Some people some people don't like getting, most people love it, but some people are just ornery and cranky and they don't like, but it's about not taking it personally.
Yeah, totally. And also think about your own habits with email. Like, I subscribe multiple times to different things, whether it's like, you know, my local flyer point things. Like, I'm always subscribing and unsubscribing to things just to clean out my inbox.
Yeah.
But also, if they do unsubscribe, it might be that they've moved or they're not getting that service done or whatever their reason is. It's really got nothing to do with you, because you just don't want to take it personally. You are going to have people that want to speak to you, and then you're going to have people that don't want to speak to you. So it's just it's a numbers game, really. And that's what business is all about. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, it's a numbers game for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked you about the different types of emails. Can you give me some more examples, if you have them, of like some of the really successful or popular emails that you remember sending out to your list that either were really profitable or people just said that they loved getting them?
Yeah. Obviously anything to do with any staff member or myself always got replies. Always. Even when I sold my business, I told them, you know, I gave them a big long speech about why and, you know, what's happening in my life, and anything to do about personal always got email replies back.
Yeah.
Also let me know people were reading it, which was great. Definitely having massive offers in their program. So again, warming the customer up, letting them know that something's coming. And anytime I had a time deadline on something, people would reply back saying, I really want this this package. Can I come in on Thursday and pay over the counter and blah, blah, blah. So anything that had, a time deadline. Anything social, and also pre-orders of stuff as well.
Oh, awesome. Like products?
Yes. Yeah. So we had a skincare company, and if we had a pre-order, we would send the email out letting people know, and they would either call or reply back via email.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. Okay. So people loved getting your emails. Can you, for people who have, we already touched on this a bit, but for somebody who has an email list, let's say they have like 500 people on their email list, 500 clients on their list, and last time they sent out an email was like last year. And so they're watching this and they know that they should be sending more, and maybe they're getting excited. What are some ways to make email marketing easy and not like one of those stressful things that you have to do every week or every 2 weeks?
Yeah. I don't know if this is what you think might be a good idea, but I would sit down and do a 3-month plan. So I had a sketch out of what I was doing in October, November, December, what was happening in the salon. And then I would pick one of those subjects and I would write a Google Doc and I would have a brief description of it. I would do one for November and I'd do one for December. So know what you're marketing. And have one day of the month that you would always sell. Like, let's just say you're going to send. Let's say you're going to do it monthly. Have a day, whether it be the 15th, the 1st, the 30th, whatever. And
give yourself a deadline.
Yeah, give yourself a deadline, definitely. And also customers will then start to expect that you're going to get an email on the 1st of every month or the first day of every month or, you know, every fortnight. So having a schedule. Having a marketing plan of what you're doing that month and then taking the sales out of it, taking that pressure off yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, email marketing isn't going anywhere. And there's a lot of companies, even in Australia, that are big, like online businesses, and they send emails every day. Wow. So there is a couple that I receive because I'm watching them to see what they're doing. And obviously it's working. So if they're doing it every day. I don't recommend doing it every day, but, get into your own groove and just take the pressure off once a month and know for the next 3 months what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Your email marketing efforts are directly tied to how much money you can make as a business, how much people connect with you, how much people kind of feel that maybe they're not coming in that often. I mean, if a good chunk of your clients are coming in like once a month or once every few weeks, that's awesome. But there are some people that you won't see for months at a time, but you still want to make them feel like they're part of something.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And we would have that as they would only come in every 8 to 10 weeks for a pedicure or something like that. But they still felt a part of what's going on. They didn't miss out on anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and they're like, that colour that you posted, a month ago. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go and have a look, and they have connection. So,
yeah, they genuinely read emails. I mean, that's the thing that I think a lot of people are surprised about is like, they think, oh yeah, well, email's old, no one checks email. But honestly, like when you compare it to something like Instagram, which is awesome on its own, but there's a lot of distractions on Instagram, and it's a very like instant gratification thing. Your post might get a scroll past, it might get a like, it might get 3 seconds of reading, but email is something that people carefully read and you have their full and undivided attention.
Yeah. I would also, one other thing I forgot to mention is if I did a blog that month, I would direct them to the blog.
Awesome.
So again, more educational, more tips on whatever it was that we were talking about that month.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I do that in my emails as well. And then if I can just add one final thing about like making email marketing super simple and not stressful, your emails do not have to be beautifully designed. They really don't. Like some people get so stressed out about like a template that looks good and looks branded, and then they're like, oh, but I need to put the graphics up here and the colors and everything. Honestly, simple is best. And the way that email marketing is going is like just basic black and white text and some photos.
Yeah. I would literally have 2 photos. I would not have any more than 2. Most emails would just have 1. But if we had something special, we would put a second small one and then just a button, like a call to action.
Yeah.
Just nothing overwhelming, something that could take less than a few minutes to read. It wasn't anything over the top at all.
Yeah. I love it. So, any final kind of pieces of advice for us, Jessica, about things that you learned about email marketing from your business, or just kind of like some tips or anything like that about having an amazing email marketing strategy?
I just think everyone needs to send at least 1 email a month, a welcome email to every client, like new client that comes in. Again, you can set up automations. It's not that you physically have to do it. You can set it all on autopilot, and just having a strategy, a basic strategy of once a month, knowing what you're talking about, and removing that build up, like you said, of having that beautiful image template. You do not need to have that, but you definitely need to have email marketing. You need to be driving people off Instagram onto your website and collecting emails and talking to people. It's all about having connection.
Yeah, I love it. It's all about that connection. It's all about the relationship, and email's an amazing way to do it. So guys, we're going to wrap up here, but if you're watching, tell us in the comments, are you going to use some of the strategies or some of the ideas that Jessica has shared today? And if so, what are you going to do? Are you going to start doing that follow-up email, asking for feedback after their appointment? Are you going to start doing some of those like anticipation things where you build up excitement and then you, boom, do the big offer? Are you going to start doing kind of some more educational emails instead of just salesy? Let us know in the comments kind of what you've learned, what you've taken away, and what you want to start implementing. Because it does not have to be stressful. It can be so easy, but it's an amazing way to get more bookings and make more money in your business. So, Jessica, thank you so much for joining us. One thing that I didn't touch on is what you currently do in your business, how you help beauty business owners, and how people can connect with you.
Yeah, so you can find me at jessicakidner.net and over on Instagram at jessica_Kidner. And I actually do have a step-by-step guide on my sale process that I did with the emails that I sent out for my big $5,000 launch that I did.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I've actually written 7 steps that I took, what I wrote in those emails, why I did certain things. It's all there. So that's on my website at jessicakidner.net.
I love it. And can you drop that in the comments as well of this video?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay,
I can do that.
Put it in the comments so that you guys can find it. Check out Jessica, and And how do you help beauty business owners?
Oh, sorry. Yes. So I'm all about building a business to be able to run without you full time. So I believe that all businesses need somebody. So I help people go from full time to part time and to build that automatic revenue into their business. So using 6 core different areas that we focus on.
I love that.
I just do, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, check out Jessica. And I wanted to just give a shout out in the comments. Brandy Lynn says thank you. And Nora says yes. So this is what she learned. Welcome email and monthly to start. Thanks, Nora.
Yes.
And
yes.
then, yeah, that's a great place to start. And then Chantel says, all the information was great. Thanks, ladies. I'm definitely going to start emailing. My first one will be to reintroduce myself and let them know that I have rebranded.
Perfect. That is perfect.
Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't need to be awkward. Just like, hey, it's been a little while. Why don't I share what's new with me? I'm rebranding.
Yeah, that is the perfect time. Perfect time. And also one other thing before we go, this is coming up to your busiest time. So get in and collect those details. You are going to get so many new clients in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Collect every single one of them, even if they're coming in just for a special event, because you never know what's going to happen next year. Like, you can reconnect with them and invite them in, and they could be literally brand new family members into your business.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're collecting details.
That's great advice. Holiday season coming up. You're going to have lots of people coming in. Make sure that you also, promote your holiday specials on to your email list as well.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome.
So thank you so much, Jessica. I am so excited that you shared all this amazing information with us. Make sure to check out Jessica, guys, on her website, jessicakidner.net. And I will see all of you next week. Same day, not same time. Jessica's in Australia, so we did a little bit later today. But I'll see all of you next Tuesday for another Salon Marketing Live. All right, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.